What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Scyushi, and we are back in some more Trove, and this is mostly directed to you console players. I'm gonna be doing this on PC, so forgive me, okay? Because I'm going to be actually doing this because I only have all these items on PC, so yeah. We're gonna be talking about just the Season 2 items that you can get out of Bomber Royale Season 2, because Bomber Royale Season 2 is finally available for console players. There is all of the error stuff, and you might notice that my menu looks a little bit strange. That's because I have mods and stuff like that. Season 1 is always just going to end up being in its own category now, but unfortunately getting items out of Season 1 Bomber is going to absolutely suck. I would recommend that you get yourselves the legendary tome for the Season 1 coins as soon as possible, because from here on out, if you're a new Trove player, this is awful because it's a 2-to-1 ratio, folks. You're gonna have to spend 2 Season 2 tokens for 1 Season 1 token, which doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know why. Like, the devs were so stupid for making that decision. I'm just blatantly going to say it. Everybody argued against them as soon as they mentioned it in a stream months, if not like a year ago, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about all the new shiny items. So with the Season 2 or the Season 2 tokens, you can end up getting these boxes, which they can rarely contain the golden twin dragon egg and just other items from Season 1, but it's extremely rare. Usually it's going to be best to just end up grinding the tokens out to end up getting most of those items, and it's okay. Despite my complaints, it's fine because a lot of these items are tradable anyways. But the Season 2 tome, you want to get that as soon as possible because that's just basically going to end up giving you... How many does it give you? 5 bomber coins a week. Yikes. I guess it's better than nothing, though. And then there's going to be the short fuse hat style, which is this one right here. And yes, it does actually come with that little 3D fuse that's on his head. I actually have a hidden hat style right now. So everything that you're seeing, the video effects, as well as just the 3D model that's floating on top of our head, that is all part of the video effects, which is cool. Because back in the day, I remember somebody, it was years ago, somebody ended up figuring out in mods how they could end up making a 3D object in a video effects file, and since then we've actually seen some pretty nice little nifty things like this. Yeah, I kind of like it. You know, it doesn't have the outline that all the other characters have or anything like that, but it's cool. You know, I'll take it. And then there's going to end up being the booming Brainstorm. So this is not really one of my favorite auras. Maybe somebody else will say otherwise, but you can just see the continuous explosions going off over our head right now. Boom, boom, boom. It's not my favorite. I would have rather had it just be a continuous explosion on our head or something to that effect. Like, I don't really know why you would end up rocking something like this. It doesn't fit with many of the costumes in the game just because orange is such a obscure color for Trove's average of colors. And then there's the Cherry Bomb Burst, which for some reason is even more expensive when it's literally just a reskin, but it's going to end up being pink instead, which... you know, at least this one has a little bit more appeal. It can work with a little bit more characters just because the video effects are all right. You know, the color of it fits with a lot more costumes, but it's still not really something that I'm particularly into. I don't know. It's just weird. Comment if you guys think that, you know, if you like those auras. And then there's going to be the Mental Minefield, which this one I actually really like. Mostly just because it's the 3D objects again, but it's just the 3 different bombs from Bomber Royale floating around your head. And they just look really nice and clean, don't they? Like, I wish back in the day, there was a mod that would let us remove the outlines of characters in Trove, and it made the game look a whole lot more cartoonish. That mod doesn't exist anymore. I haven't been able to find it, and I don't have it in any of my old mod files or anything, unfortunately. But basically, it made the game look like those things floating around my head. Where you can see it just kind of looks, it looks brighter, it looks more vibrant. There's just something about it that it just looks really, really nice. And I just kind of like it. Not to mention it's like super duper expensive to get, so there's that too. Then there's going to be the War Painted Javelin, whatever this is called. This is going to end up being a Warthog. Trove in their puns. I really like this thing. I think that it's a fantastic looking mount. Little bit dark for the rest of the game. You know, the consistency of the colors of some of the mounts just doesn't really hold its own. But this is by, you know, our boy, B_Yellow, who's one of the best modders I've ever seen. He has a really good eye for style, you know, and he ended up doing a great job with this one. Really, really enjoy it. You know, it's a really cool mount, and it feels like it should. I don't like that you're always going to be staring at his butt, but that's just something to do with Trove. Either way, it's really neat. because you can basically just ride Ganon. And then for a whopping 300, little too expensive there, devs, but at least the dragon egg is tradable. You're going to be able to get the new dragon. Is it as good as the dragon from Season 1? No. The dragon from Season 1 has 2 heads, and is probably one of the best and easiest dragons that you can end up getting if you're just a starting player, because you basically just gotta grind Bomber Royale for like a week, and then basically you end up just tapping your left and right click when you're flying in the air with this thing, and it destroys blocks super duper fast because it has 2 heads, right? This one that you get from Season 2, however, does not. I personally am not a fan of this dragon. You know, it being something from the developers means that it's only like 2 colors. There's barely any shading in it or anything like that. Cool that it's kind of all bomb themed. You know, it's got missiles on its tail. It's got the bombs in its wings, missiles under the wings. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. It's just not one of my favorites. When you start flying, you know, it doesn't have any jet video effects or anything. The devs seem to really enjoy these jet mounts, like jet dragons. But the cool, unique thing is that it will actually shoot out rubber bombs. And those will end up having, you know, that same video effects from the aura that you can have over your head. And these bombs will actually bounce the same as they do in Bomber. So it's pretty neat. If I'm not mistaken, too, you can actually swap your style. I'm actually missing a couple of these. Interesting. But you can swap your bomb style, and then the ones that shoot out of the dragon will actually change as well, because there is going to end up being some new bomber styles, like for bombs and stuff, that will show up in the arena, which, oddly enough, this is just a little bit of Trove trivia for you guys. So the devs, for some reason, when asked why didn't they make it so that we could change the video effects of our explosions instead of the bombs themselves, the devs said that that would confuse players. When I would argue it's the complete opposite. When you throw down an eggplant bomb, most people aren't going to instantly recognize that that's a rubber bomb because the bomb itself visually changes. The video effects doesn't matter. If you see the video effects, that means you just got hurt by it. I think, in all honesty, they were just lazy because the video effects would have been a lot more work for them. But whatever, who cares? Either way, you know, that's all the Season 2 stuff, and then everything else is just all the items from Season 1, but for Season 2 tokens. So I don't even know, like, I guess the only thing that you need the Season 1 tokens for is probably the dragon, and I guess the auras, which kind of suck. Yeah, okay, so these aren't the Season 1 items. These are just the general items that we had from PvP back in the day when Capture the Flag was actually a thing. But the thing that's so ridiculous is that means that this dragon and any of these items are going to be that 2-by-1 ratio, which means that you have to get 2 Season 2 tokens in order to get 1 Season 1. So this dragon, 600 tokens. You literally have to grind twice as much Bomber Royale to end up getting past items. There's no reason for that. None at all. I don't know why they didn't just add these items to the store and just keep the same coin, or just make it so that we could exchange the Season 2 tokens for the Season 1. You know, I understand that they want us to grind the Season 2 tokens fresh because they didn't want us to just buy all this stuff outright with our Season 1 tokens. But still, to have that 2-by-1 ratio is just, it's an atrocity, man. Like, it's so stupid. They shouldn't have done that. I do not agree with that. Either way, that's going to be all the stuff from the Bomber Season 2, folks, so get out there and get grinding. We've got a couple new maps as well. That is to say, we've got one map that's absolutely awesome, and then we've got a Geo Topside map that nobody liked, but for some reason still made it into the game for I don't know what reason. But then the problem is that the Bomber maps are going to be on a weekly basis, so they're going to swap out every week. Yeah, so you can't just play the maps that you enjoy because they might not even be there for that week. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. There is going to end up being some store packs, but I already have them, so I already have videos talking about them. I don't know them off the top of my head. I think it's just one that gives you a bunch of rubber bomb skins, and console players finally got your hands on the Sweet 16 pack, which is awesome. If you're a new Trove player, once again, I'm going to plug it. I don't care. You can use the sign up link in the description. You sign up for Trove, and literally anything that you buy out of the store will end up going, a percentage of it, not all of it, a percentage will end up going to yours truly. Helps me pay the bills. It's absolutely awesome that so many of you guys have been doing it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like, sub, all that other good stuff. Yeah. Good luck with all the bomber grinding. You're gonna need it. Sign on. Stay epic, everybody.